What if I told you that true success is not measured by the billions you earn, but by the millions of lives you touch? What if I told you that in a world obsessed with profit, there was a man who built an empire, yet remained known not as the richest, but as the kindest? This is not just the story of a businessman. This is the parable of Ratan Tata, a man who taught India that business can be a force of compassion. Born in 1937, Ratan Tata grew up in one of the most respected industrial families in India. The Tata name already stood tall with industries spanning steel, hospitality, and automobiles. Yet, his childhood was not free from pain. His parents separated when he was young, and he was raised by his grandmother. It taught him something early on. Comfort does not shield you from life's hardships, and hardship, if you let it, becomes a teacher. While many in his position could have chosen a life of privilege, Ratan Tata chose service. He studied architecture, but his heart was drawn to something bigger: how to use the legacy of Tata not just to build businesses, but to build lives. When Ratan Tata took over as chairman of Tata Group in 1991, India was changing. Liberalization was opening new markets, and global competition was fierce. Many expected him to focus solely on making profits and keeping Tata competitive. But Ratan Tata had a different compass. He asked himself, what is the purpose of business? To extract or to uplift? Under his leadership, Tata Group didn't just expand globally, acquiring companies like Jaguar Land Rover and Tetley Tea. It also expanded its heart. One of his most revolutionary ideas was the Tata Nano, the world's cheapest car. Why? Because one day he saw an entire family riding on a scooter in the rain. Father driving, child squeezed in front, mother at the back holding another child. It was unsafe, dangerous, and deeply unfair. Ratan Tata thought, every family deserves safety. Even the poor deserve dignity. So, instead of chasing luxury alone, he created a car affordable for the common man. Ratan Tata's leadership is filled with stories that read like modern parables. After the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, when terrorists attacked the Taj Hotel owned by Tata Group, he personally visited families of employees who died. He didn't just give money. He gave presence, empathy, and lifelong support to those families. When farmers lost their land during the nano plant relocation, he ensured they were compensated generously. He said, no business can grow if the community around it suffers. When COVID-19 struck India, Tata Trusts donated 1,500 crore, not for publicity, but because humanity needed it. These weren't acts of charity. They were acts of responsibility. Because, in Ratan Tata's philosophy, business and humanity are not separate. Experts in leadership often say, great leaders create wealth. Extraordinary leaders create meaning. Ratan Tata belongs to the second kind. His belief echoes the ancient Indian philosophy of seva, service. He believed that the purpose of wealth is not accumulation, but distribution. Not showing off, but lifting up. Think of it, in an age where CEOs compete to buy bigger jets and taller towers, here was a man who lived simply, spoke gently, and kept giving back. And because of that, he didn't just earn profits, he earned respect. The story of Ratan Tata is like a mirror for all of us. Maybe you're not building billion-dollar companies. Maybe you're just running a small shop, or working in an office, or studying in school. But the question remains the same. What are you building your life upon? Greed or compassion? Because here's the secret. Money fades, but the impact you leave on others stays. Your legacy is not your bank balance. Your legacy is how many lives breathed easier because you were here. Psychologists talk about eudaimonic happiness, the kind of deep fulfillment that comes not from pleasure or material gain, but from meaning and contribution. Ratan Tata embodied this. Studies show that people who live for a cause beyond themselves live longer, happier, and more peaceful lives. So, in many ways, Ratan Tata is not just a businessman. He is a case study of what it means to live a meaningful life. Ratan Tata once said, "I don't believe in making the right decisions. I take decisions and then make them right." But beyond that wisdom lies an even deeper truth. He didn't measure success by how much Tata Group grew, but by how much India grew with it. And maybe that is the real measure of greatness. Not how high you climb, but how many you lift as you climb. So, as you finish listening to this story, ask yourself, are you living just to accumulate, or are you living to contribute? What small act of compassion can you do today that may ripple into someone else's tomorrow? If this story inspired you, share it with a friend who needs hope. Subscribe to Mindshift Stories for more modern parables from India and beyond. And remember, in a world that measures success in numbers, dare to measure yours in lives touched.